what are you sacrificing? And I mean, to get where you are in your job. So if you're on the fence about getting out of your job and getting online, or you're online and like you're trying to figure out how to level up your business, like think about what sacrifices you made to get to where you are. I'll go first. So I worked as a civil engineer in a male overpopulated field, and I sacrificed a lot to get ahead. I was in the industry for 10 plus years and I made over 100K before I left, and I sacrificed a lot to get ahead to get that. Um, there's college. So before college, I was studying really hard, and then to get into that college. And then in college, it was the tuition. It was like time in college. Like college was pretty awful for me because it was engineering, and I just studied all the time. Um, so I spent 4 years just studying all the time. And then after college, it was getting a job. Well, I couldn't find a job, so I ended up living in a city I hated, renting a room from a woman who we didn't really hang out, and I spent a year and a half basically exchanging between my room, running on the greenway, going to work, coming back home, watching Dexter on repeat on Netflix, going to bed, doing it all over again, not really experiencing life. Like that year and a half was basically spent between work, running, and bed. It was awful, and I was like doing this to get ahead. The whole time I was like, do I even want to do this? Intuition, should have listened to that. More on that in another story, but like I should have listened to that intuition that yeah, this was never going to be a fit for me. But I kept doing it. Finally, after a year and a half, I got that dream job. Dream job. So I sacrificed to get to there. And then while in that dream job, I traveled for work. I was gone for several years, only working, not being around friends and family. I sacrificed my physical health because I didn't have time to work out because I was working 50 to 60 hours. I was sick a lot because I was always flying and I couldn't go to the doctor. I sure there's like so many more sacrifices. Like I didn't really live in those 10 years. I mean, I did. I snuck in trips, but it was all about getting ahead. My whole life was focused on getting ahead in that job. So if it meant work happy hour after work and there was going to be higher ups, it wasn't a question of do I want to go, it was like I have to go. And even if that meant like I need to cut out my workout, or if I was supposed to have a date with my husband, or if I was supposed to whatever, it was like I need to do these things. So I sacrificed 5.5, 6, 7 years to get ahead. And then I wasn't even accepted when I got there, and basically was blocked out as like, you don't fit into the club because you're too outspoken, too aggressive. My favorite is I'm too adversarial because I ask questions, which when I asked my male boss if he would ask that to my male counterpart, because he's pretty adversarial, he just, yeah, because he wouldn't say that about another man. Anyways, so what are you sacrificing to get to where you are? And you're thinking, okay, like I was, it might take 1 to 3 years to get my business to really back, like my new business online up and functioning, or my writing up and functioning. And I don't want to do that. That was like literally a thought I had for like 3 years trying to get out of engineering of, I don't want to start over. Okay, cool, but I've done it before and I can do it again. And it's painful, it's hard. But it's also like you can start doing it part-time like I did while I was doing my job, and it's not starting over. You've already had this much life experience, so you're not starting at square zero. Like you have so much knowledge to give that you're not starting back at zero. So is sacrificing a year to 3 years to get your business fully functioning that you could have lifetime money worth it? Because think about everything you sacrificed to get to where you are in your job now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I could do 3 years versus those 7 years and have a better mental health, like it's not sacrifice. Like I'm having so much better mental health. My physical health is better. My relationships are better. Like all those things I sacrificed continuously for those 10 years, like I'm not doing. So it's not really sacrificing. It's just sacrificing like I'm having to put in a little bit of extra work so that I can in 3 years, 5 years, however long it takes me, have that lifetime money to have. Like, that's the point. Whereas engineering, I worked 10 years and busted my butt to get ahead, and I would have had to work just as hard, if not harder, for the next 40 years. I can't even imagine doing that. I'm sure I would have like a stroke or something, because that much stress does increase your chances. So, back to it. What are you sacrificing? What did you sacrifice to get to where you are in your job? Was it worth it? And if you're thinking about getting out, like what benefits will the sacrifice bring you?